I'm building a chicken tractor out of these metal studs. All I'm doing is cutting little slits. I measured from the bottom 5 feet on 4 of them and 7 feet on 4 of them and cut them there, and then just bent them over. You have to kind of bend the sides out a little and fold them down, and then since you have to bend them down at more of an angle, you have to cut like a triangle out of here so that it can bend down all the way. And then just making the frame, the roof and the walls like that, just screwing them in with these little sheet metal screws. And right here where they meet together, you have to bend this up a little bit, bend it out so it can slide in. So screw it together, and then I'm gonna stand them. They're gonna be sitting in there, screwed in. I'll show you when I'm done, with a plastic roof over top. Here's the basic frame and where I started putting these horizontal supports for the roofing panels. All the wood I used in this project was from 2 different beds, and they're slats. The ones from the roof, the thinner ones, were from this bed we bought, and it came damaged, and they let us keep the bed and we got our money back, so I just used the parts for things. And the other one was an old bed that we got rid of the frame and kept a lot of the wood on it. But yeah, all that wood is just scraps and free, and the frame was free. I found all that metal on the side of the road and grabbed it. The plastic roof is left over from other projects I did, and there's some aluminum pieces on the bottom of the frame. Those are solar racks that I got from my last job at the solar company. The wind blew it over at one point, and I just bent it back into shape and it was good to go. Here's how I built the door with these latches, using that backwards, and it keeps the door closed really good. One at the top and one at the bottom. And then I added some hardware cloth and added trim at the top so I could screw it onto I had to put a piece of wood up at the top on the front of it there, and I screwed the hardware cloth in on the inside, so I had to put some trim, that white trim over top of it to protect the wood. And here it is, all finished with the hardware cloth all around. I put it vertical so I could just cut it to width and not have any seams anywhere. So it's all solid sheets on each section there. And I screwed it in with these little sections of galvanized strapping that I cut, and some sheet metal screws. Worked great. I didn't even have to drill holes. I just used those little short pointy screws and pushed, just give it a little pressure and it goes right in. And so I got all the hardware cloth up. I'll show you an example here quick. And yeah, I overlapped them so I didn't have to use so many screws and brackets, because I cut each one of those little sections of strapping to use as washers, basically, because the holes in the hardware cloth are too big for those screw heads. And this just holds it into place really good. I counted about 6 or 7 squares in between each one, so nothing could really get in there. Make it nice and tight and sealed up good. Took a while, but it's coming along nice. And we're almost done. And here's the first time I let the chickens in when I finished finally. I'm still working on, I need to put some wheels or some way to move this thing around and a nice handle so I can lift it on each side and just make it a little easier to carry around. But it works well, and the chickens like going out there sometimes. They don't like being out there too long because I think their run is pretty nice because they have a lot of shade in there. But once I can move this thing around a little easier, I'll put it into some better spots for them. But this is just convenient that it's right outside of their coop or their run. And I tried to set the doors up so they would make a little hallway in between when they came in. So it worked out pretty well. And here it is, somewhat finished for now. I'll work on it a little more soon. But thanks for watching. Take care.